Professor Mark Higdon. This video is for FM341 for my computer-aided product development class at FIT, and it is a basic introduction to Adobe Illustrator. In this video I'll show you how to launch the program as well as some of the basic tools in regards to the layout in setting up a file. You want to open up Adobe Illustrator. If it is the first time that you're using the program in a work session, sometimes it will take a little longer because the program is quite large. If you closed out and are relaunching the program in a work system, it opens up pretty quickly, as you saw when I just did. Okay. This is the first window that you will see as you start to launch Adobe Illustrator. And you see here there are various files that I've worked on previously in Adobe Illustrator. This is quite helpful if you've closed out the system and you're relaunching it. It will show you the latest file that you created at the top, working back history-wise. Okay. There are some predefined presets in terms of the setup for a Illustrator file. I'm going to ask you to left-click on the word Create New. And you can see here at the top we have various options. Illustrator is used by many different people for end results, whether it's for mobile layouts for the web, print, film and video, art and illustration. I'm going to put in a title here for this, and I'll just call it Practice Session 1. It defaulted as inches for the increment of measurement. It may not show inches on yours. If you need to change it, just left click on the pull down arrow and you can select inches. I typically work 8.5 by 11 in a profile layout orientation, so make sure that you've changed the increments, and you can just left click and type in the number in terms of what you're looking for there. I'm going to leave the bleed. I'll come down to color. This is something that you want to check every time when you're creating a file. We want to work in red, green, blue. The other option for that is CMYK, which refers to the cyan, magenta, yellow, black ink on your inkjet printer. Red, green, blue is the color system that we see when we're looking at a desktop. That's how those three colors are comprising all the colors that you're looking at. Okay. In terms of raster effect, I tend to work in 300 ppi. This refers to the number of dots per inch, so that you're going to get a lot of detail in the artwork when you create it, or the silhouette sketch as you develop it. Okay. Left click on Create. So here's our first file. It's our work session here. On the upper left-hand corner you have a green, which expands the file to fill the entire window, yellow to minimize, and X is to close out. And you can see here this is the File tab that I'm working on, Practice Session 1. Up at the top we also have pull-down menus. If you left-click on any of these, it will show you additional menu options and tools that we'll work with as we go through the course of the semester. This white space here refers to the 8.5 by 11 workspace that I set up. On the left-hand side here, you can see I have the toolbar, and these are this is the basic tools, a lot of the elaborate tools that we'll work with during the course of the semester. As you move your cursor over these tools, it shows you what the tool is. The letter in the parentheses is a shortcut, so if you want to get to this tool quickly, if you just hit the letter Q, it automatically takes you to that tool, and you can see that tool is selected because it's highlighted. Okay. I also have some additional tool boxes here from a prior work session. If you see on a lot of these tools, there are some little white corner arrows in the corner. If you left click and hold on that, you'll see there's some additional tools hidden underneath. You can actually open this up and get a small toolbox which will have these various tools in it. If you move your cursor over to the right hand side, you'll see that the edge becomes darker. If you let go, you actually open up that toolbox. So that's how I opened these toolboxes here. If you want them to go away, just click the X and you can remove them. So depending on the tools that you become familiar with and working with during the course of the semester, you might have some of these tools that you're going to leave open, and they will reappear every time you rework at the same computer and launch another work system. Okay? Anytime you see a double arrow like I have on this layers palette or window here, if you left click on that, you can actually collapse it and make it smaller, or you can left click on it again and make it larger. If you left click on the X, it actually goes away. Anytime you need to find a palette that you're looking for some additional tools, come up to window, and you can find the palette window just by scrolling down and looking for it. So if I want to reopen up layers, I'll get more into this in the next video. I oftentimes will talk a lot about layers through the course of the semester. We'll use the layers palette quite often. That's how I would reopen it. Okay. Another thing I like to do, just as I set up the work file session, I like to go to View, come down to Show Grid. So this will open up a grid of lines, and these can be very helpful as you're starting to work with various tools to develop your silhouettes in the course. These will not appear if you actually go to print out the document on a printer. They're just here as a guide, a visual reference as you're working in the program. And then another one that I like to see is go to View at the top, come down to Rulers, and I like to show rulers. The shortcut for that is Command R. So whether you're on a PC or a Mac, the shortcut, the Command key plus the R key will automatically take you to showing the rulers. I work on a PC at school, and I work on a Mac at home, and all of the lesson and tools that I'll be walking you through on the video can apply to either a Mac or a PC. You can work on a file on your Mac at home, save it, and then reopen it on the PC computer at FIT, and the program will totally open up the files. So they float very seamlessly between Mac and PC very easily. Okay. All right, so I'm going to stop here for the first video. In the next video, I'll get into some more discussion with working with some of the various tools. Thank you very much. As always, if you have any questions, you can email me at my FIT email account, and I'm happy to answer any specific questions. Thank you.